It is so great to be here. Michigan in 41 days. We're going to turn this state ride and they're going to turn the capital as a Now, I know they have to vote to fit the white in. I think you can hear me, but not necessarily Stevie. I just want to say we're so grateful for everybody for being here. We're so grateful to have a max capacity and then self-turnout. And we're grateful for all the hard work every single one of you is doing. I turned this stick red and said, "I'll drop out the coming now." John, I was on the phone with Brennan earlier, and he asked me what I was doing. I said, "Well, we were exposed on at a fundraising, and I said, where you come to Michigan?" And he said, "You spent a long time in Michigan." And I said, "Yes, I am. I actually come to love scene." And they said, "Well, we went to Ohio State. Are you ever worried?" No. Aren't you really worried the Buckeye thing is going to cost you some votes to Michigan? I said, "Well, because they did pick our ass 3 years in a row, the least I can really need one." But I think we all agree there's something much more important than football. There's something much more important than any sport. It's saving this country. And my crew is, we have got a great cream in the city that you gotta leave a couple of shout outs here because you've got a great group that's gonna help us stir the state red and win this election. I want to do a special shout out to Michigan Wheat Chair P. Poacher. Where's Stephen? And the guys had a great civic candidate here in the state of Michigan. Mike Rogers isn't here, but we're getting around the wall. We want time. Now, I don't know if this is all the news, but Kamala Harris is deciding to give her first solo national hearing. Now, the journalist that she's doing this interview with, of course, is the person who's already endorsed Kamala Harris. I don't think she's going to get that many top questions. But, I've watched a couple of these, interviews and local journalists with Kamala Harris, and I've realized why it is Kamala Harris with it. And the answer is that every time she answers a question, I could be 8 about it. I mean, if you want to lose about 20 IQ boys, I encourage you to block the we're going to get you, not buy them. And, they'll ask Kamala, of course, because she's vice president, and she is the reason why we have sky-high inflation and why they'll say, Kamala, Vice President Harris, what are you going to do? What is your specific plan to solve the inflation crisis that's making it like more to housing? And Kamala will say, "Well, did you know that I grew up in reading Bastament?" I married out a salon back there in Berkeley, California. It's like, "Well, I like it free. What the hell does that have to do with Lord and Witch?" But they'll say they're Kamala Harris to the world. We've got a war at every new government across the country. Kamala Harris, your administration has in some ways led to the policies that caused this conflict. How are you going to solve it as President of the United States? And Kamala Harris say, "Well, I will take it down. They're out in the lunch markets today." And I think that why President, all of us are watching the interview and say to ourselves, what is Kamala Harris, what she actually planned to do for the American people? And the answer is, we don't have to guess that much because she's been the vice president for 3.5 years and she hasn't how to do anything. So that's the stretch of this idea that Kamala Harris is going to fix the very problem she caused. Kamala Harris is why we have sky-high inflation. Kamala Harris is why you can't afford groceries or housing. Kamala Harris is why the world is at war right now in nearly every single continent. Kamala Harris is why the war is wide open. And Kamala Harris, you want promotion, but the message from Michigan is you're fired. Go there.
Wait, and a chair. Me too.
Man, it's a very simple question, because I think it gets to the heart of what this election is fundamentally about, and I ask it to everybody, not just who's here, but is watching us on TV or have watched us at some of the clips they'll see of this event. And it's actually very, very simple. Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And actually, it's not just you all. It's a lot of Americans. In fact, about 70% of Americans are consistently telling us that their financial position is worse thanks to the policies of Kamala Harris. So let's just tick through some of the problems here. The cost of living in the state of Michigan is $1,032 higher per month than it was 3.5 years ago when Donald Trump won office. That's the strength. That means that if you add up all this inflation, the average Michigan family has to cost $27,000 thanks to Kamala Harris's inflation. Gas prices in this state are up 45%. Home prices of these cities in Michigan are up 41%, meaning that a lot of American families can no longer afford the American dream of homeownership. Now, groceries are up over 20%, and that's everything. That's milk is about $4 a gallon. That's about a 40% increase. Eggs are up more than 115%. That means they more than doubled the price. Thanks to Kamala Harris. And I've got 3 little kids that know who eat a lot of eggs. So I've seen that price increase very firstly. But here's a problem with Kamala Harris. It's not just that she caused all these problems. It's that she's the most shameless politician I think we've ever seen in our lifetime. Because you go to a Kamala Harris rally, I would not recommend, and she will say without an ounce of shame, on day one, we're going to lower prices. And we're on day one, we're going to make housing more affordable. Kamala, day one was 1,400 days ago. What the hell have you been doing all the time? Now, the answer, of course, believes she hasn't been doing a lot, or in fact, when she has to do anything, it's been making the problem worse. Kamala Harris, as much as she tries to run to the policies of the past 3.5 years, as much as she tries to pretend that she represents Spain, Kamala Harris, let's remember it, she cast the tie-breaking vote on over $4 trillion of spending that sent inflation through the roof. Now, Kamala Harris wants to increase your taxes in a long way it's already had to increase your taxes so that she can help rich people buy automobiles made in China. That makes no sense. So, does that help Michigan auto worker can cross the whole earthly environment? I don't know. So when Kamala Harris says that she had the plan, you better run for the hills because her record for the past 3.5 years has been a disaster for this state and for the entire country. But here's what I think we could do. Rather than give Kamala Harris a promotion that she hasn't earned, rather than give her a promotion even though she refuses to give an interview, let's send her back to San Francisco where she belongs to make dollars in a count.
But
now, one of the many reasons I love to be in Michigan is you guys have a very proud agricultural tradition. And, you know, you all, I said, know this, 75% of this today, 75% of the park shares are grown in the Bridge City, Michigan. Now, I'm greatly fortunate to have all of you here. First, I'm most grateful to have here is my lovely wife, Uka. What do you think is this job? Okay. But here, and Lucia will tell you that I'm actually the baker. He describes that, with it. So I actually make a lot of cherry white with his 300 kids, and apparently they all got up to the state of Michigan. So from my children to you all, thank you all. But you know right now that Michigan farmers are struggling more than they have in a generation because a lot of countries are dumping agricultural products into our country. And we've seen this story before in the state of Michigan and all over the Midwest, where you have people using literal slave labor, making things as cheaply as possible, dumping it into our country to undercut the wages of American workers and put a lot of great American people out of their jobs. Now, we've got a president and a vice president right now that is saying, do it, and do it more. He's welcoming these agricultural and manufactured thefts by allowing people to flood this market with a bunch of stuff that shouldn't be here to begin with. Now, here's Donald Trump's approach. Donald Trump's approach is, we are going to protect Michigan auto workers, we're going to protect Michigan farmers, and we're going to be self-reliant at the family.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Mr. Vance, you didn't want to love at it. You want that. You want that. You want that. You want that. It's not right.
And here's the other thing is, we're going to pursue some common sense tax and economic policies that make it easier to build things in America, make things in America, and do it with American workers instead of foreign slave labor. So, with the story, my friends, the story of the economy over the past 40 years, and Kamala Harris and her donors have benefited from more than almost anybody, is very simple. We're going to ship American jobs overseas. They say we want to ship American manufacturing overseas, and Donald Trump is the first person in a generation that has said, hell no, and we'll protect an American history.
I think that definitely nothing happened. There's nothing.
Now to see the same old failed approach with this Goshen facility, right? Let's let on foreign money. Let's let on foreign money fill things. It's done build it with American money and American workers. But you see it in a lot of other ways too. The most destructive thing that this administration has done, the Kamala Harris administration, is that she wants to force Americans to buy electric vehicles made in China. So by the way, wants to subsidize your money. Here's what our proposal is. First of all, this is America, so you should be able to drive whatever the hell car you want. This boom.
And thank you, America.
But here's the second thing. We are going to support American industry and American industry. And people always ask Kamala Harris this question when they get a rare opportunity to ask a question and say, what's your specific plan for lower costs for American consumers? And they ask Donald Trump the same question. It's funny, Kamala Harris has no answer to that question, but Donald Trump does. He was the most important thing we're going to do to lower costs and make it easy for American manufacturers to build in the United States of America. Real, baby, you're... They're explaining when they make it more expensive on energy workers and energy producers, well, then gas is worse. And if the truck drivers demand more for gas, then we're paying more for the groceries that are delivered by the truck driver to the grocery machine. We're paying more for homes because the truck drivers were delivering the lumber and the construction supplies to that build site. And on issue after issue after issue, all we got to do is unstackle the American energy worker and the American energy producer, doing more to the United States of America, doing it to American workers, and back how the world right. Keep doing it. Now here's another thing that Donald Trump, he doesn't get a lot of credit for the American media, and certainly not for the Democrats. But Donald Trump is actually a great president for environmental protection and conservation. Doesn't get nearly enough credit. Of course, we believe in protecting our environment. We believe in clean air and clean water. Because in the state of Michigan, especially this far north, we got some of the most beautiful natural resources anywhere in the world are out. And they're wet and here. President Trump signed the Great American Outdoors Act to rebuild our national parks, spent $900 million rebuild our national parks. And he signed another piece of legislation as well, $175 billion in the Great Lakes restoration, which of course benefits all of us. Benefit no listen to good on Great Lakes, that's Ohio, that's Pennsylvania, that's Michigan, and that's Wisconsin. Look, we believe in the United States of America, and we believe in the conservative movement, in clean air and clean water, and in a beautiful planet. But here's the problem, is Kamala Harris, in the name of crazy green energy scams, is shipping American manufacturing jobs to China, which, by the way, is the dirtiest economy in the entire world. So here's what we ought to do to protect the American worker, but also protect the American environment, build more in the United States of America, and deal with American workers. And that's the plan, and that's exactly what we do. I don't think we can say it enough, my friends, that Kamala Harris is worthwhile point here is Kamala Harris's policies lead to higher taxes for the middle class. He's explicitly promising to raise taxes on middle-class Americans, even while she's using that money to reward companies that are shipping jobs overseas. And I think she's got it exactly opposite. So here's the Donald Trump tax plan. We're going to cut taxes on American workers, and we're going to penalize companies that are shipping jobs overseas. I apologize. A lot of you know my story, and a lot of you know where I came from. Look, I grew up in a working class family. And so, but look, with the Democrats, when Kamala Harris talks about her middle class hackers, when the Democrats talk about how they stand for working people, they're not telling the truth. They're lied to. And here's how we know they're lied to. You remember back a few years ago when there were a lot of nurses, a lot of people, a lot of industries that were losing their jobs because they refused to take the COVID shot? I believe the church take the COVID shot, take the job. If you don't take the COVID shot, they'll take the COVID shot. The left. It's very exciting for Kamala Harris to say she stands for the American working man, when she fired millions of American working men and women from their jobs for not doing what Kamala Harris is telling them. When she shipped millions of American jobs to foreign countries in the name of the environment, even though the foreign countries do business a lot dirtier than we do. It's a scandal for her to say that she stands for the American working man when she is promising to raise taxes on working men and women all over this country, including in the state of Michigan. The president for working people in the United States of America, it's Donald J. Trump, and we're going to talk to you in just a minute. Now let's just talk about the human cost of her policies, and then we're going to take some questions from the media. But I want to talk about one more issue, that's immigration. Because, man, what a nightmare the American southern border is, thanks to Kamala Harris' policy. Now, we see this in small towns and big cities all across our country. What are they told of Kamala Harris's broken border? Kamala Harris opened the border. Remember, she promises. She said on day one, I'm going to suspend deportations, and that's exactly what she did, and now American citizens are living with the consequences. We see this in towns like Springfield, we see it in PA, we see it in Michigan, we see it all across our country. What you see is municipal budgets that get stretched. Police officers that can't do their job because they're dealing with illegal immigrants. You see students that can't learn and they're fools because they're flooded with children who don't even speak English. You see car accidents going up because a lot of people aren't properly licensed to drive. And you, of course, see a massive increase in crime. And you know what else you see? And this goes to the heart of why housing prices are so high, is you see a lot of you who cannot afford the cost of a house. Because when you allow foreign people who are in this country illegally to buy houses that all by right go to Americans, then you make it impossible for American citizens to afford the American dream of homeownership. So here's what we believe is we need common sense tax and economic policy. We need to bring back some good American manufacturing jobs in the state of Michigan. But if we want to allow American citizens to afford a home again, we've got to start by deporting the millions of illegal aliens that have been here for 15 years. Because here's the deal, a lot of other people who shouldn't be in this country come here illegally. You put stresses on all the services that a lot of Americans are allowed everything in it. And I'm proud to run with an American president and an American president candidate who believes the first duty of the American president is to look after American citizens first and not deliver the base upon.
That can please stick it at the every time I think that is good. It's to the cloud. All the world we got down to side. Now,
Now, let me say that one wild thing that will take a few questions to the forward. So, it's hard to believe, but it's been 10 days since another assassin tried to take the life of President Trump. And thank God for a quick acting Secret Service agent, and thank God for his grace.
I think you didn't say about that. After the morning,
You know, look, I had this conversation, and I had this conversation with the president about 1:45 on Sunday, the day that he was shot. He called me. I was still with my 7-year-old son in Cincinnati, and he said, "JD, they just tried to do it again." I said, "They tried to do what again?" They said, "Well, they tried to shoot me." And I couldn't believe it. I said, "My God, sir, first of all, how are you?" Not that how are you physically, but, that's a traumatic thing to happen twice in as many months. How are you doing? And honestly, I was more shook up about it. And it revealed something to me about Donald Trump's character that I want to talk about. We could disagree on substantive issues. I think it is really largely agree. But the most important thing is not that we agree on 100% of the issues. It's that we have a person's character and current under fire in the own law. Now, here's the thing. So I said, "Sure, how are you?" And he said, "Well, I'm doing fine. I'll cut this off if I was not going to make a burial thing. So this." And yeah, I might chuckle, and it's good if they could show some humor in a tough moment. But then I realized that there's actually something insightful on there about Donald Trump, the man. Because we know that at some point, probably many points in the next 4 years, there's going to be some crisis somewhere in the world. And it's going to become the American president's business because everything that happens eventually falls on the desk of the United States president. And the reason we want the answer in that phone call, my friends, that's exactly right. Is it a woman who is so afraid of the American media, the friendly media, and surely do an interview? Or is it the person who takes a literal bullet to the brain and stands up in the fires and to stand down and says, quite hot? And I just say, the most phony took a bullet to the brain, took a bullet to the head, and stood up and said, quite. I really do think when you watch that video and his head turns so quickly, that is a grace of God. It really is an amazing thing. But look, it's not just an amazing thing, it's his response to it. Because when you show that level of calmness and coolness under pressure, what you show is you could handle the adversity and the stress and the trauma of being in a tough situation and fighting for the American people as fight. And here's the problem with Kamala Harris. It's not just that she's wrong on the issue, quite friends. It's that she doesn't have a plan. She can't even talk about her plan. And she's so terrified of the American people that she runs from the media instead of answering their questions. That is not a person we want anywhere near the Oval Office. We want Donald J. Trump. How about that? So, thank you. And I wanted to say that this is ultimately what this election is about. What kind of person do you want in the Oval Office when times are tough? Who do you want responding to a world crisis? Who do you want implementing common sense economic policies that he already implemented once And the answer is dollars to take chocolate.
It starts that around Adelaide, not the Adelaide, and it's only like that. I'm down my dear shit. Another what can serve it has. Jesus.
Work hard.
Everything's
I didn't
Thank you. Hal, well, a few questions to the media. I didn't know I have to hit the road, but I can't, unfortunately, the lights are both right, so I can't see you, but if you got a microphone, just shout out a question.
Hey, Senator, I didn't get to talk about the auto industry in Michigan. What do you see as Michigan's role in the future of the industry, whether that is scrutiny, gas, or electric?
Well, I think Michigan's role in the industry is to be the leader of the American auto industry, but it always has been, but only if we get leadership we could fight the Michigan auto workers instead of a person quite ship their jobs to China. And I think that's the most important thing. Look, we're going to have EVs. And this is the thing. Knowledge and I are not anti-electric vehicles. We're anti-telling Americans what car they have. But here's what's so crazy about Kamala Harris policies. Although she's taxing Americans to send a lot of their money to foreign-made electric vehicles, while on the other hand, she refuses to allow America to dominate not just the manufacture of the electric vehicles, but everything else and forth. The mining of the minerals, the manufacture of the batteries. They have made making things in the United States practically illegal, and so when they subsidize electric vehicles, they are necessarily subsidizing electric vehicles that are primarily made in China. So here's what Donald Trump not only let's unshackle the industry and stop these crazy regulations that make it impossible to build things and make things in the United States of America. And number two, let's invest in Michigan and American auto.
and the fall dead doing. And you know that I'm really believing that. You know, through this WC, the greatest jobs in manufacturing and especially it should have started right here as a great state of Michigan. To see all how to make things with their hands. We're proud of that, but we want to keep it going and build upon it. So I think this year Walter is sitting in leading this industry, but only if we stop the stupid policies of Kamala Harris and get Donald Trump back in the White House. Next time. Senator Vance. Senator asked us to be our co-jersey rather evil our own town saver. He leaves it alone. That's so angry in the city. We're having fun. You're living. That's what watching there with us. So that is very. And then he now asked for them now that a very serious shortage of affordable housing. Yes, we did. Not just renters, counted it all over Northern Michigan. Families with their kids can't stay here because they didn't afford White House. We gave it service workers up here because the rental expense. It claims that 10 years ago cost $100,000 or selling for $800,000. What can those people do now to address this problem and how do we need about yeah.
Well, let me just say, one, and I appreciate and I agree with the basic purpose of the question, which is how they assuage substance in this area and all over the country. This is something that really changed. For me to allow this, and look, I did not throw up the family with a lot of money. I think a lot of you know that. A lot of you have heard my story. Look, a lot of the American middle class and working class people afforded by his whole life. I had lived with my family. I actually said something to me very recently. It's really sad. I kind of did think how just unbelievably sad it is for American young people. And she was talking about buying a home herself, and she said it's kind of crazy that when our parents were young, they could just go and work a job and raise a family and afford to buy a home. And I thought to myself, what a terrible job you're doing for our young people. They feel like they cannot access the American dream of home ownership. But look, the answer is most immediate. He goes back to work. And why does it go back to work? Because every economist and every person with analysis tell you that if you bring in billions upon billions of people, who are competing with Americans for scarce homes is to shoot the price of housing to the roof. So the first thing that you've got to do to make it more affordable, I love in this country, is to get people who shouldn't be here out of their sleeping days.
And have its way. Yeah.
Well, look, that if you order that alcohol solution is a problem because you've also got to build a house. And we unfortunately have made it so far on construction workers and construction businesses to build houses in the United States of America. Well, we talk about regulations. I think a lot of people say, well, but what to really eat about regulations? Well, here, the two things that I've really focused on, I criticize the regulatory regime of Kamala Harris. It's number one, they're shutting down pipelines, they're shutting down oil fields, they're shutting down natural gas arrays, they're shutting down the American heritage sector. That's the disaster. You're going to stop the regulation that's there. And by the way, that will also lower the cost of housing because one of the reasons housing is so expensive is because the heritage to build doubles is not so expensive, makes the Kamala Harris. But the second thing you got to do is stop making it so hard to build things. But let's think about this country. Think about the history of the United States of America. You think about, what is it that really sets us apart? We are frontiers. We tamed the wilderness over hundreds of years and built incredible skyscrapers and great, beautiful buildings. We are a country of builders and of makers, and Kamala Harris is trying to throw you in jail if you build without their permission. It's a joke. And we've just got to get back to making it easier for people to build things in this country that'll drive down the cost of housing and make American homeownership dearly with debt. That's nothing.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Traverse City Workplace.
It's going to be here.
I'm Jennifer Isabella Bishkit News Source, and my question is, what are you doing to prepare for the upcoming difficult living needs? You heard about what the thing is always here. Let's go.
Well, look, I think the way I see the rate is conspiracy with opportunity work for 90 days. Governor Walsh Cyrus basically it's about an American people. And what I'm going to try to show is it's very simple that the candidacy, the team of substance, the team that actually has a record that we're proud of, that said would run away from it, the team that actually has a plan is a team of Trump there. And that wasn't like it. Yeah. I noticed one of the differences between Kamala Harris's campaign and Donald Trump's campaign is we speak to our fellow Americans like they're citizens, because they are. Kamala Harris speaks to her fellow Americans like they're children. And well, I'm sort of quite fault about here is essentially what we're going to do to make their life better. And here are the ways in which current administration is making your life worse. So we're trying to connect it to all the policy. And that's what I think the American people care about. So that's my plan. So we're setting up a place we can on the issue for bad of the American people. And I'm looking forward to it because, again, as much of the moderators, they very well be biased to see about that. I know they want the first on it. But it's an opportunity for me to get to tell the American people how I think we could make their lives better and how Donald Trump's policies to make them more prosperous, to make the world more peaceful, and to secure that southern border. And we do those things, we're building it, and I will lead both.
When next starts it, we'll just do a couple more here.
Okay.
Welcome back to Nation Senator. I have a question on foreign policy. We recently detailed a plan that would end the Ukrainian war in a podcast that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called too radical. I want to give you the floor to respond to that. I didn't respond to what Zelensky said, but can you detail how a Trump-Vance administration would end the war in Ukraine?
Well, look, the detail for how Donald Trump is going to end the war in Ukraine is by not being weak and not being dumb, which is unfortunately something he thinks they are an inspiration. Watch it with the name that people are their neighbors for the 4 years that Donald Trump was president. And that the president before him and the president after him somehow wants to keep on invading our neighbors is because they don't respect American leadership and because our leaders aren't smart. So what Donald Trump brings back is not just strength, but intelligence to the Oval Office. And I think that's really all we need to end this war. Because look, it is not in America's interest. It's not in Ukraine's interest. It's not in Europe's interest for this war to go on indefinitely. Now, you said that he was Zelensky criticized something I said. First of all, that's not a plan. That's me talking about one possible scenario for how this thing might ultimately end. But look, I don't appreciate that Zelensky come to this country and tell the American taxpayers what they ought to do. They ought to say, well, look, this is very important. I think the American people are looking, and you remember when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ran, what they promised was a return to rules. Yeah. And think about this. Think about, we got a conflict right now, a war that would have never happened in the Middle East that threatens to become a regional war. We've got a war in Europe that wasn't happening under Donald Trump's leadership. We've got the threat of war about to break out in East Asia between China and Taiwan. The entire world is a tinderbox, and Kamala Harris, I really believe, is the man. Because weakness invites conflict. Donald Trump believes in peace through strength and decent, smart diplomacy, and that's what he can drive beyond the Let's who all those architects would have the fly they'll leave with final words or why we get out of here. Just time there.
For being the senator, my question for you is, Trump says it's too late to debate because voting has already started in Saturday, America. You're set to debate walls on Tuesday. That'll be your debate disaster.
The deluxe. Yes. Yeah, first of all, man, but the president already did a debate. I thought he did a hell of a job. How did you on this one? And so all these squad of that the debate. You know, you girl all the TV. I don't recommend watching the theater but we do. Like girls TV and say, well, you know, clearly she got the mid shot then, blah 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 blah, and they listen to the other side of them as she watches debate. And it's like the majority of the real crowd from that board. Well, if the majority of us decided to vote for one guy, I'd sit that guy won the debate. And here's the debate. This is why Kamala Harris is desperate to do this again, because she knows it. And when you're one of the losing campaign, you throw everything against the wall, and that's exactly what Kamala Harris was doing. Now, we have to remember that months ago, Donald Trump offered multiple debates, and the Democrats said no. The Democrats said no, they don't want to do all of them. And now that they're losing, they want to change the deal. Well, too bad. You should have made that decision 3 months ago, not after it could be a plan. But look, I think the more important point here, the more important point to the American people is Donald Trump is getting out there every single day. I'm getting out there every single day, and we're doing what President and Vice President ought to do. We're trying to put the trust into those of the American people. I think I think the American media ought to be much more interested in why Kamala Harris is running for every single interview. And when Donald Trump is getting out there and he's talking to the American people every single opportunity that he gets. And I think the president has figured out that the best way to get out there and reach the American people is to do it the right way. To do it near, to talk to you guys the right way, because putting this filter and put the teleprompter between you and the American people, that's how Kamala Harris is going to run her campaign. Donald Trump is going to run his campaign on ideas. He's going to run his campaign on making this country great again, because already did it once, and he's going to do it again to be really fun. So, I'll leave you with just a couple of thoughts here, because look, it's so much fun to be here, and I've loved spending some time like you, but we've also got some work to do. And the president does this at every rally. I think it's such an important message, and I'm going to try to encourage you all. We've got to get out there. And I got a very specific request for you that I want you to get out there. I want you to vote 10 times. Now, the headline of CNN tomorrow will be Senator Vance encourages voter fraud. And that thing meant that. So here's how you get out there and vote illegally, Alan. Is you take yourself in the polls and you get 9 of your friends and families to roll up.
Now, there are 1,000 anything that active.
Now, look to you a little bit of the nitty gritty on call is when we think about how we're going to win this race, it really is simple. We just need to get our people who already planned to vote for us. We need to make sure they actually get out there and vote. But here's the thing. Things sometimes come up into wait until election. Look, I'm a firm believer that we'll have election day instead of election season, but it is what it is, my friends. We've got election season. It is here, at least for now. And so we've got to play by the rules, but we got to play it with. So here, if we talk to 100 Democrats, they talk to 100, let's say you talk to a lot of Democrats too. Say you talk to a lot of people who played about control, and 100 people who played about for the other guy. 98 or 99 of the other guy's people will show up, whereas for us, sometimes it'll be 95, 96. Now, in close election, that is the difference between Donald Trump being the president or Kamala Harris being president. And so we got to figure out how to get every single person that plans to vote for our side to get out there and vote. Now, we all know what happens if you wait till election day. Some people, I've heard stories of, well, I planned to vote on election day, but then the schoolers my kid threw out school and I didn't go pick him up and take him to the doctor. Or something came up with my ball and I had to go up, or maybe I played good at the polls right around 6:30, but I had to stay at work until 8 o'clock if it get a chance to make it there before things close. The ways that we're going to win this election is to make every single vote. So don't just get out there and vote. Get out there and vote as soon as you possibly can. And there's a website, I'm going to read off it to show how to screw this website. swapthevote.com. You can check for registration, you can check where your polling location is, and you will get involved in our grassroots effort to elect Donald Trump the next president of the United States. Now here's the thing that I think that the media always misses this about the Donald Trump movement and everything that we're trying to do. Is, look, we are very, very frustrated by the leadership of this stuff. But every single person in this room is a patriot. We love the United States of America. We think greatest country in the entire world. And I'm at it. But here's the thing. We've got, I wish I could take every single one of you and give you the perspective that I've gotten running vice president the last 7 weeks. Other than marrying this beautiful woman here and being a father for 3 kids, the greatest honor of my life has been to be your next vice president of the United States. Let's do it. But you didn't. Well, I've been looking at 7 battleground states: Arizona, Nevada, North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and of course Wisconsin. And I've been to these 7 states so many times, and all I can think about when I go to a new place, or I've never been to Traverse City, this area before, and you just have come, and all you can think is, this is where the most beautiful, and they just steal it. I don't know what you're being about us. We have got the best of that in the resources anywhere in the world. Oil, the gas, and minerals, the Russian and Chinese literally killed for what we've got right here are on the best. Speaking of natural resources, the best natural resource all is our people. And I believe we've got the best people leading us in the morning. The only thing I think that is broken about the United States of America is our failed leadership. The only thing that's broken about the United States of America is that Kamala Harris is all the shots. And you know how we're going to change that? It's not by relying on the press. It's not by relying on anybody but ourselves. So let's get out there, let's work our tail ends off, and let's make Donald Trump the next president of the United States.